3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, you're listening to Local Frequencies, your connection to the local music scene. As you probably know by now, I'm Bree. And we don't have Kyle today. As of now, well, while we're recording this show for you guys to listen to, we don't know where Kyle is. So we have our roadie Gabe here.
He was last seen walking the cranberry bogs. If
Of
anyone
Nacita.
has any information, please contact WRJC.
Hopefully we find him before this show goes on. We'll keep you all updated on the website. But we have Jerry Duginski from Wausau, Wisconsin.
Right.
Right. Are you originally from Wausau, born and raised? Or?
Well, I was actually born in California. My parents were in the Navy.
Oh wow.
But I'm from Merrill, which is about 12 miles north of Wausau, tiny little town.
Okay, so was your mom and dad just stationed out there? Then
Yeah,
when
my
you were
dad
born?
was.
Okay.
My mom was from Pennsylvania, and they actually met in boot camp.
Oh,
And
that's
then
cool.
Somehow they got married because they had to.
Oh.
Yeah, which was great for me. 'Cause, then
Yeah.
I was born.
Then I was born,
Then
which
I
is
was
pretty
born,
fantastic.
which is amazing. Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so Jerry, why don't we start with what kind of music do you play?
My biggest appeal is to play songs that will get a crowd moving. It's really, I find myself almost more of an entertainer than a songwriter in that I want to make an entertaining connection where they're going to have a good time or have fun.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you do a lot of talking in between your songs
I do.
then? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I found you through Scott Wilcox, which all of our listeners know who Scott is. We've had him on twice now.
Yep.
And he could talk forever.
Oh, yeah.
Or I'm trying to do an interview with Scott, and I'm like trying to go to a break, and I'm like,
Sure. Well, hold on.
Wait, Scott. Okay. But yeah, so I noticed when he was talking about you that he brought up the entertainment part too. So you do a lot of jokes and stuff. Are you kind of a comedian too?
Definitely.
Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. If the crowd is right for it, and sometimes the jokes they'll be like. The crowd is like, would you just play another song already? And I'm like, that's fine, whatever you guys want.
Sure, okay. Yeah, you got a good job. Remember, we're on the radio.
On the radio?
On the radio.
You have a good radio friendly joke?
I will say this, my name is Jerry Duginski, and I like my women like I like my coffee in the morning. Did that get close?
A little close.
Did that get close?
I've gotten closer.
I could see your face. You can't see your face, but it's like,
I was like,
where are you going with this?
This is why we record these live, though. Recorded live.
Yeah.
We haven't had to.
I don't usually edit out too much. I don't know.
I don't think. Have we edited out?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we've said anything bad that we've had to edit out yet. So we're doing pretty good. So you're an entertainer, and you like to classify yourself then like as an entertainer. You wouldn't classify yourself as a musician.
Right. Yep.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's the first one we really had on the show.
Okay.
What kind of genre of music do you do along with your? Can I call it an act? Is that fine?
Well, I'd call it a show. It's still a show.
Along with your show, what
Right.
kind of genre of music do you play with your show?
Well, again, it a lot of times it depends on the crowd. I'll look out at the crowd and I'll be like, this is a Johnny Cash crowd, so I'm going to play some Johnny Cash. Or I'll look out at a crowd and I'll be like, this is a crowd that wants to hear some newer stuff, so I'll play something more modern but to an acoustic guitar. It always depends on it. Most of your shows really depend on who your audience is.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. How long have you been playing music live?
I started, I want to say about 6 years ago. I'd been playing music, guitar, and in my home for a while, and I actually stepped onto my first open mic stage. I knew 3 songs, and I just fell in love with it. I'm like, I'm coming back next week. Every week I would learn a new song and come play it at the open mic, and it just started from there. So
That's always a really good way to. My first time like performing live wasn't with an instrument. I didn't learn guitar until my first year in college, but was at a talent show. So it's just kind of you get the bug, and then you just gotta. What, are you laughing at the story? What are you laughing at?
Just remembering my first time playing live with drums.
Oh, was it scary?
There was a drum solo in the middle of it that no one told me I had, so the band stopped, and I stopped, and we just stood in silence for a while.
I have a band called Kittens, America's Sexiest Party Band. And when we first had our bass player in, we did the same thing to him. We're like, okay, bass solo, and we all stop everything and turn to him. It's a live show. We'd only had one practice. I'm like, you're in the band. Oh, great. And we all just stop and watch him, and he's like, he did fine. But
I have to ask. I have to ask. Where did Kittens come from? And it's kittens with a question mark at
Kittens.
the end. So if you look up Duginski's
Jerry
band.
Duginski,
I can't say it super fast.
Oh,
You look up Jerry's band Kittens, it's got a question mark at the end of it.
Mhm.
So how?
Well, we've been around for a while. When I first put the band together, I wanted to have a vehicle that was just original music, and that's what I put the band together as. So I had my guitar player, I had the bass player, the guy who was the bass player at the time, I had my drummer, and we just needed a name, and I wanted something that would be catchy, people would remember what it was, and I kept getting a call from the bass player. He's like, we should have a really cool name like Forward.
Man.
We should have a one-word name like Vision. I'm like, I think it should be something that's one word, something catchy, but that kind of sticks out a little bit. I'm thinking either Kittens or Man Stallion. What do you think of that?
Man Stallion, that's great too.
And we had our first gig booked, and we didn't have a name yet. The owner of the venue was like, Jerry, what is the name? What is the name of your band? I need to know. And it was actually in Wausau, a place called the Speakeasy. It was Jesse. He's like, I don't know the band. I told him that the bass player didn't like the name of our band, and he was going to drop the band if we named it Kittens or whatever, and he didn't know. So we ended up putting it Kittens with the question mark in the newspaper.
Because you didn't know,
Because
right?
we didn't know, and as soon as I saw that question mark, I'm like, that is the name of this band.
That's
and
so
that's
cool.
what it's going to be.
Mhm.
Yep.
Kyle and I, we're trying to think of, because we're just called Kyle and Bree.
Okay.
Which is what we're called. We're
Yep.
a duo. That's what everybody knows us as.
Uh-huh.
But we're kind of starting to really get bigger and venture out more, especially this year. And we were trying to think of maybe we need an actual name,
Right.
you know, because a band is like a group of as a group of musicians, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So we spent probably 2 or 3 hours on a band generator name
Oh,
website.
wow. Yeah.
You
It
came
was
up with
bad.
Some great names.
It was bad. There was nothing
Everyone
good.
liked the name but you.
Sucky Bubble.
Sucky Bubble is a great band name and you know it.
It's weird. Sucky Bubble.
I'm just going to stay out of that one, I think.
Thanks, Jerry.
Who
Thanks.
wouldn't want to buy a Stunt Dolphins t-shirt?
Oh yeah, the other one was Stunt Dolphin. I
Stunt
was like,
Dolphin?
oh my gosh. But yeah, so how did you? Let's take it way back.
Mhm.
Well, not too far back, because you're in your probably
30s.
early 30s. Yeah.
Yep.
So not too far back, but when did you? You said you first started an open mic night, but when you were younger, in middle school, high school, even
Right.
elementary school,
Mhm.
did music really have a calling for you?
Oh,
did it really have a
definitely.
passion, or?
Mhm. In high school, I was in choir. I was pretty involved in choir. I was actually the president of our choir in high school, and so I had there were a lot of musicals. I sang a lot, and then when I went to college, every elective that I could take was in choral, in singing. So I really learned a lot how to control your voice, how to use air. It's mostly about air. It's
Yep.
not up here. It's down here, and so I mean all through that. But then I got out of college, and it's like, oh, now I'm in the corporate world, and I have to give all that stuff up.
Right, and it's really hard. I know Kyle right now because he's going to be graduating. Gabe too. You're not.
Mhm.
I mean, Gabe's still pretty active when it comes to music and stuff like that. But like Kyle and even me when I graduated, there was always so much pressure to get a real job.
Right.
Get a real job.
Get a real
and it's
job.
like.
Mhm.
Okay, and I did fall to pressure. I didn't want to go to college.
Yep.
I went to college for a year, but I got my first guitar and I loved it, and I'm still the okayest guitar player you'll ever hear. I
Right.
know about 10 chords and that's it, but hey, I'm good,
Hey,
good rhythm section.
No more than 3 chords. You're just showing off.
But and I think I know Kyle's really feeling that pressure too. Like I'm
Mhm.
graduating and I don't have a job and
Especially
like
in
a
Wisconsin.
corporate
Mhm.
job, and it's just I even look at my life now as 21 years old and I have 2 other full-time jobs plus being a musician on top of
Right.
it. And it's kind of like, you don't want to think this way, but it's like, what if being a musician doesn't work out? Like, I don't have anything behind
Mhm.
me, but you just kind of like, sometimes it really hits me and I'm like, okay,
Right.
anxiety attack, but then let it pass. And so,
I think I came it from the opposite of you, where I got finished with college. I worked in administration and healthcare for about 8 years or something like that. And at the end of that, I'm like, wait a minute, I got this degree so I'd have something to fall back on, but I never gave myself the chance to fail,
to be, yeah.
to actually fail at something. So that's when I started doing.
At least you have that to
More
fall back
music.
on, though. I
Right.
think that
Mhm.
does what
Yep,
freaks me out a little bit, but
Right.
you can't like think about failing.
right.
You know what I mean? You're not going to fail until you actually fail,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I try to always just like, okay, nope, don't think of
Mhm.
it that way. But well, we have to take a short break. But when we come back, we're going to get to a little we're going to get to know a little bit more about
Don't
Jerry.
edit that out.
Oh, I won't. You're listening to Local Frequencies, your connection to the local music scene. Hey, we're back, and you're listening to Local Frequencies, your connection to the local music scene. We have Jerry Duginski,
That's right.
so good,
Oh, yeah.
with us, and Gabe, our roadie, because Kyle is still MIA.
I think Kyle just was like, I am not going to go talk to Jerry Duginski. I've heard that a lot.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Can I say that you look very different? Wow, do you see my... You look very different in person than on your Facebook
Oh, really?
profile picture. I don't know if it's like the angle or
Okay.
because there's not a beer in your
It
hand.
could
or...
be something. I have a funny story about that if you want to hear it.
Yeah, let's hear it. Yeah.
I met this girl online, and she was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. She wanted to book me for a show, and we met at a bar at an open mic in Appleton. She lived in Door County, and I live in Wausau, and we met in the bar in Appleton. And we meet, and she goes, oh. I'm like,
Oh, that's not
What?
good stuff.
and she's like, I just thought you were a lot taller. I'm like,
You're not that short
okay,
of a guy.
no. Well, she was tall.
Oh.
But still, I'm like, well, the stage adds 3 inches. That is. And so whatever, we were still there, and I went up to her, I said, you're still going to buy me a beer though, right? I didn't drive an hour and a half to not get a free beer, you know what I mean?
So is that what their beer in that picture is
Yeah,
from?
right. No, that was a different picture.
Oh, because
Yeah.
say that would be really funny.
Yeah.
That'd be a story.
So Jerry has a SoundCloud,
Right.
and does the band have a SoundCloud too?
It does.
So it's two
Yeah.
separate SoundClouds.
Right.
Right.
And the best way to find the band, because if you type in kittens in SoundCloud, you're going to have to go through about 3 pages
Yeah,
of cats and
yeah.
kittens and other bands with that in their name. But if you go to my page, Jerry Duginski on SoundCloud, you can link over to the kittens
The
page.
kittens one.
Mhm.
Okay, and I want to spell Jerry's last name for you guys because it does not spell how it sounds. So it's just Jerry, regular old Jerry spelled like Jerry, and then Duginski.
No, Duginski.
Oh, oops, I had it written wrong on here. Just kidding.
Okay.
Sorry, Jerry. My bad. So
Oh my God.
it's Duginski.
Right.
My bad.
Duginski.
Duginski. I'm sorry. And then Kittens has a Facebook page.
Right.
So don't forget, it's Kittens with a question mark.
Mhm.
And you guys have 2 albums.
Right.
The band or you? What's
They're both albums that we have are the band.
Okay.
The first one, because I didn't know if we'd make any more, or if the band, we've only been together for maybe a year, actually is titled The Very Best of Jerry Duginski,
Okay.
because I figured, why save all the best stuff for later? I'll just introduce the very best right away. And then last year we came out with our second album, which is self-titled Kittens, America's Sexiest Party Band.
America's Sexiest Party Band. I just love it. I'm just really loving it. I like drawing a blank here, Gabe. You got any questions for Jerry?
Oh man.
Kyle usually does some talking. I let him talk a little bit.
Well, a little bit.
Well,
Way a
sometimes
little bit.
you'd be worried. Some things that come out of Kyle's mouth really worries
Oh, he's a
me.
drummer.
No, Kyle's my guitar player.
Oh, Kyle.
Gabe's the
Gabe's
drummer. Yeah.
Okay.
Drummers are a weird breed. Do you find that? Drummers are a weird breed of people?
They're wonderful. They're just
You don't have to
wonderful.
lie to me, Jerry.
They're a weird breed. Gabe knows it. It's all right. Oh, here, I know what we can ask you. What went into making your first album? Like, was it what kind of process was it? I mean, was it fun? Was it, you know?
It was really fun.
Okay.
I really like recording.
Did you guys self-record or did you go into a studio?
We went to a studio.
Okay.
We did both albums through Muse Studio in Wapaka. And really when I was looking to record, I'm like, I have enough stuff and it's... The way, let me back it up just a second.
Okay.
The way that I write original material, or at least at first when I started writing songs, was I wouldn't go up and say, hey everybody, I wrote this song, pay attention. Because nobody pays attention to that, especially in Wisconsin.
Yep.
Instead, what I would do is take my songs and put them in the middle of other songs, and if people were singing along to them by the end of that song, a lot of times I'd have people singing along the first time they ever heard a song. By the end of it, I'd be like, I'm keeping that one. And I just really, for my process for songwriting, a lot of it is throwing songs away. This doesn't work, that doesn't work, this is...
That's actually a really good idea, not forcing something that people aren't really listening to anyways.
Right.
There's no point in wasting your time on
Right.
it. That's a really good process.
Yeah.
I never thought of doing that.
So I had
The
a
thought of throwing
good
a song
collection.
away is a little...
Yeah. Throw what?
The thought of throwing a song away is a
Oh,
little
right.
heartbreaking on me, but...
Don't act like
You know what? Once you do it though, it's so liberating. For me anyway. It's like
There's
every
one song
I
I'd like
write.
to toss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it's one of your
Kyle and-
best songs.
Oh, I don't like it at all. Kyle and I have this song, and it's like real easy, smooth, melodic in the beginning, and then the last two verses cuts into like this hard blues, and it's just
Oh,
it's like
really?
crazy. Like it's like a whoa, like it slaps you in the face.
Uh-huh.
But I hate the beginning of the song. I hate it. No matter how I write it, what I write, I hate it. So I just want to burn the song. And
Yeah,
Kyle loves
great.
it. Everybody else loves the song, and I just want
It's
to
one of your best
burn
songs.
the song.
I mean, you guys have songs that aren't great. I think we all know what song I'm talking about.
But anyway, sorry to take your...
No, well, we all have songs that aren't great, and sometimes they're the ones that people love. Oh, do that one song.
Yes,
It's like,
yes.
oh
We
my
have a
God.
song that's called Feels Like Home.
okay,
And everybody, I will send you the link. Everybody loves this song, and we just know. We just can't, I don't know, I think it's because we have to, everybody loves it so much, and we have to play it so much that it's just like, okay, I'm over it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle hates that song.
Really?
Yeah, and Kyle, I mean, wrote it, and he
Yeah.
didn't think, it just became such a big thing, and it kind of, this area kind of uses it.
sure.
So I think he's just kind of like, oh, like I didn't want it for that. But
Uh-huh.
sometimes as a musician, you kind of gotta
Oh,
give
definitely.
and take,
And
you know.
if you have a song that you wrote that people want to hear, it's so much nicer to hear that from the audience than, hey, play this cover again.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Definitely, definitely. So how long did it take for you to do the first album?
The first album was great. I called the guy, I was looking for a studio in October, and I called a bunch of different studios, and most of the guys were like, oh, I would use this type of microphone, and this is the system that I have.
You're like,
And I'm like,
uh-huh.
I'm an entertainer. I don't care about any of that. That's your job. And then I finally got a hold of Mike Barden up in Wapaka, and he's a musician. So right away, he's like, I want somebody to give me feedback on the songs themselves. Would you try this? What do you think about that? So I called him up in October. We did a recording in November and finished it in December, and it was out by February. We had them all in our hands. So
Wow,
it took,
cool.
it was, I think, maybe two or three sessions in the studio, and then it was done.
Oh,
That's awesome that you found a recorder, like a recording place that had a musician for like the producer,
Right.
because
Mhm.
I definitely feel you. I haven't done too much calling around or yet and not, but it's like I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like my sound system, like somebody taught me where to plug
Mhm.
everything in
Right.
and like how to make sure it doesn't cut out and stuff, and that's all I need to know.
Right.
Like don't tell me what this is, don't tell me. Just tell me how to show me how to plug it up, and we'll be good.
Right.
You know, and it's
What knobs to touch, and I'm good to go.
Yep. Well, knobs to touch, which ones I really shouldn't
Yeah.
touch, and where they should be. But so we have to take another break already. But when we come back, Jerry is going to play a original for us.
Yep.
And which one are you going to play first,
I'm
Jerry?
gonna play Fairy Tales. I don't think you've heard it.
I don't think so. Nope.
Mhm.
But I did like the stuff I heard on SoundCloud,
All
so
right.
I'm excited. So when we come back, Jerry's going to play his original Fairy Tales for us. You're listening to Local Frequencies, your connection to the local music scene. Hey, we're back, and you're listening to Local Frequencies, your connection to the local music scene. We have Jerry Duginski here with us, and he is going to play his original fairy tale.
Yep.
And then after he's played it, we'll talk a little bit about the song and how he
Okay.
wrote it and all that good stuff. So whenever you're ready, Jerry.
All right. Thank you. Well, every time I think about you, I start writing fairy tales, even though it always fails. But I write them for you. And every time I think about you, I wish that you'd cry to me. But that's not how it's gonna be. But I'm not running from you. And every time I think about you, I wish that you'd sigh to me. 'Cause you've gotten inside of me, and I want you to know that every time I see you, I get lost inside your eyes, and I can't hide or try to disguise the way that you make me feel. But I don't think that that turns you on. You don't see love coming 'cause it creeps up behind you. Yeah, it sneaks up inside of you like it did to me. And I realize I might risk losing you when I declare that I'm choosing you. But I want you to know that every time I see you, I get lost inside your eyes, and I can't hide or try to disguise the way that you make me feel. But I don't think that that turns you on. And I realize I might risk losing you when I declare that I'm choosing you. And I want you to know that every time I see you, I get lost inside your eyes, and I can't hide or try to disguise the way that you make me feel. But I don't think that that turns you on.
Very
Nice.
nice.
That's really good.
I like that a lot. It's always I love just listening to like the lyrics. The lyrics are always really important to me, I guess, but I write lyrics, so that's why it always really, I really pay attention to them. But no, I really like that. What was your inspiration for writing that song?
Let me think. Let me just take this off.
No problem. Yeah.
I think I've quite heard love described as sneaking up on someone before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, that was really good. I really enjoyed those lyrics a lot.
Well, I was pretty emotional at the time, and actually a lot of my more serious songwriting comes from emotions that I'm feeling. And what I talked about earlier about trying to connect with a crowd or performing for a crowd, it's like I want to take an opportunity to take things that other people are feeling, put them into words without being too specific where it can be universal.
Yeah, a little closer.
Universal
There we go.
all right, sorry.
That's okay. Okay, that's how long did it take you to write that song?
I think it took about a day, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, my songwriting is pretty fast. One song I wrote, it's on my second album, I wrote in 45 minutes. And it was because I had a deadline.
Isn't it crazy though how like sometimes a song comes to you and you're like,
Right.
like, oh my gosh, where's my guitar? Where's my
Mhm.
where's the piece of paper? Like, where's something to
Yeah.
write with? I don't care if it's a piece of rock. I gotta like scratch it and like just give me something. And you gotta get it down before you forget it. And sometimes, like Kyle and I have had to try and like write a song specifically. Have you ever had to do that before? Like for something specifically, write a song?
I without the limitation, I give myself a timeline. I host an open mic every Sunday night in Wausau
Okay.
at the Intermission Bar, and every 3 months or so, 4 months or so, I'll declare a song off, where you have 1 week to write a brand new song, and we challenge whoever's the winner as the greatest song ever.
That's fun.
You know, and that's and I basically do it just to force myself to write a new thing, because it's like, oh, that's not good enough. Oh,
Yeah.
this isn't very good. I
Like
don't like
forced inspiration is very hard though.
Right. Oh,
Very
it definitely
hard.
is, and you're going
Oh.
to have a lot that you throw away. But sometimes you want those throwaway crap songs
To
out
get-
of the way.
To
So
get the good stuff to come
Right.
in. Yep.
Yep.
So you mentioned before that you have some shows that are going to be coming up in April.
I do.
Do you want to
Yep.
tell us a little bit about
Oh.
those and where they are? And
Sure. On the 22nd of April, we'll be playing in Wausau at the Speakeasy for Earth Day.
okay,
It's our big Earth Day show. We wrote a song called "Save the Planet." It's one of the greatest songs that's ever been written. Oh my God, it's insane. Well, it's not really, but it's about the Earth.
It's not really- I
Yeah.
think that's pretty important. We
And
only
then-
have one of them,
Right.
so
And then on the 23rd, we're doing a benefit for the women's community. It's called Rock Against Rape, and it'll be at the Weston Lanes in Wausau. Most of our shows coming up are right in the central Wisconsin. And then a big kittens show on the 30th of April at the Cruise Inn, which is also in Wausau coming up.
okay. And Wausau's not that far away. What is it
No,
like?
an hour
little,
and a half,
little
2
over an
hours.
hour, right? Yeah. It's just a little bit over an
Yeah.
hour. So if you want
And
to
if you-
catch Jerry or his band, please go see him. Support your musicians.
Right.
I know he's a little bit farther away than some of
But
the
if
other
you come and you need a place to stay, I have a couch, I've got beds, it's all good.
us musicians. We're so welcoming.
Absolutely.
Welcoming.
Welcoming.
My speech has been really, really rough the last couple weeks.
I
I don't
had-
know
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
I had somebody come up to me once and they like, I really like your acoustic guitar.
Oh.
I'm like, yes. Hey,
You like my acoustic, huh?
acoustic. Mhm.
All right, well, we are sadly at the end of our show.
All right.
So we're just going to do a quick recap here. His name is Jerry Duginski. That is spelled Duginski. You can find him on Facebook. You can find his band Kittens with a question mark on Facebook. They are both on SoundCloud. You guys, you said you're all out of albums right now.
Right, but we
But-
will have more, and we have T-shirts and.
Yeah, so if you want something, you can get a hold of them through Facebook, and I'm sure you can like PayPal it or
Yep, we
some-
can make it work.
some
Yeah.
crap like that. PayPal, credit cards,
I'll
all
drive
that
it to
good
your
stuff.
What do the t-shirts look like?
We actually have some new designs coming out right now. We have one. Our main one that we have right now has like silhouettes of each of us in the band with inner, like, and then with our name on it as well. Got some new designs coming out next month.
That'll be
which I'm really
exciting,
looking forward
so-
to.
Cool.
Go and check them out. Thank you, Jerry, for
Thank you.
stopping in. And you said this is like your first time on the radio, right?
Yeah,
so it's pretty cool.
And I mean, I was on the radio a few years ago, but this was really the best experience I've ever had on the radio.
Awesome. You hear that, people?
Yeah.
Best experience he's had. We're awesome. It's because Kyle wasn't here.
It might be.
It's because
It
Kyle
might
wasn't
be.
here. No, I'm just kidding.
You know.
Seriously though, if you see that kid, send him my way. He's in big trouble. But I think that's it. Anything else, Gabe, that I missed?
What's your earliest musical memory?
Oh yeah. Let's throw that one in quick. What's your earliest
My
musical
earliest
memory?
musical memory would be listening to Dog and Butterfly on the record player when I was a little boy. I think I might have been 3.
Dog and Butterfly?
By heart. It's
Oh, by heart.
by heart.
Oh,
Yeah.
like Dog and Butterfly was the band, and I'm
No,
like,
no. Dog and
Yeah,
Butterfly
I
is a
was
song.
that's interesting.
Yeah. Look it up.
Kittens.
You'd be like, "Oh, Jerry was 3 when he heard this. That's amazing. He must be old."
Oh, and Kyle would be upset if I didn't ask you this. If you were stuck on an island, and I'll give you this one. If you were stuck on an island and you had to have one favorite album or record, you can only pick one. What would it be, and who would it be by? Or even a song, if you can't think of an album.
I would, one that I would, that is the only album I would ever listen to again.
You have to listen to it on repeat
On repeat.
for the rest of your life that you're on the island.
Well, probably my own, the very best of Jerry Duginski.
There you go. True musician right there. I can't, I have a hard time listening to my own stuff.
Oh, really?
Is it weird? I don't know, because I'm too picky. Like, I hear it,
Maybe,
oh,
yeah.
that was a little flat, or that was
Oh.
a little sharp, or
I gave
I
up
could've done
worrying
this
about
better.
that, Yeah.
you just gotta let it go someday,
I
right?
usually let other people say, "Oh, Jerry, on the 5th track, you're a little flat." I'm like, I just printed 1,000 of these. Thanks.
And that's when you're like, you know what, I meant it to be
I
flat.
meant it to be.
So,
That's right.
thanks.
It was an artistic
So you know it was me. That's right. I was worried people thought I sang auto-tune, so I want to prove that I don't.
All right, Jerry, did I miss anything?
I think that's everything.
Okay, all right. Well,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Jerry, for coming on the show.
All right.
Next week we have, who is it? Oh, next week we have a band called Newport Jam, and they're from Well, they're from like, I can't remember where they're from right now, but they're called Newport Jam. Look them up on Facebook. Look Jerry Duginski up on Facebook, and I would say we'll see you next week, but we're not going to see you. You'll hear us next week. How about
We'll
that?
see you next week.
We'll see you.
We'll see you next week.
Radio.
All right, you guys, thanks for listening. You were listening to Local Frequencies, your connection to the local music scene.